You've cut carbs before and you know exactly how it goes. In the first 2 weeks, the scale drops and you feel like a different person. And then, somewhere around week 5 or 6, you're standing in your kitchen at 9 p.m, eating a whole bag of salted cashews, wondering what happened. So you blame yourself. You're not disciplined enough. You should have been stricter. But you were too strict and that was the problem. I want to get something out of the way first. This isn't a carbs are magic argument. Fat loss still comes down to a calorie deficit. That hasn't changed and it won't. But the part that gets ignored, creating a calorie deficit, is the easy part. Maintaining one while still training hard, while still functioning at work and still being a decent human to the people around you, that's where it all falls apart. And that's why your diet structure matters more than your diet label. My position is simple. If you've got a job, a family, and about 4 hours or so a week to train, carbs aren't just allowed. They're central to the whole thing working. But first, I need to explain why the opposite feels so convincing. Look, I'm not here to tell you that low carb doesn't work. It does. And if you've done it, you know why it feels so powerful. You already know the honeymoon phase. For a while, it feels like you've found what works. That first week drop, 5, maybe even 7 pounds. You already know what that is. It's water. Everyone knows it's water. And yet every January, millions of men still point to the scale after 1 week of doing keto and say, see, it's working. And that simplicity you love. Just avoid carbs. It works incredibly well in the short term because it removes decision fatigue. But it also removes an entire food group. Whole meals, social situations, the birthday cake at your kid's party. When I first lost 30 pounds in 30 days, I couldn't believe it. I was on keto. I was telling everyone how effective it was for fat loss. Then it got to, I think it was week 6. I turned a refeed day into 10 pounds gained overnight. The next day, I felt that all my efforts were wasted and I started eating everything I was craving when I banned carbs. We can safely say that was the last time I tried a low-carb diet. Now, when you compare low-carb and high-carb diets over a year or more, with calories and protein matched, the fat loss is virtually identical. The research is clear on this. So the real question is, which structure lets you hold that deficit while keeping your training on point and your life intact? That's where carbs become unreasonably effective. Something that gets completely ignored in fat loss conversations is how you train during your diet determines what you look like at the end of it. 2 men can lose the exact same amount of weight. One looks lean and athletic, and the other looks deflated, smaller, like a slightly thinner version of the same problem. The difference isn't genetics. It's what happened at the gym while the weight was coming off. But without carbs, the quality of your training drops and most men don't even notice it happening. They think they're training hard, but their logbook tells a different story. That's if they keep a logbook. The weights keep creeping down. The sets feel grim. They're surviving sessions instead of driving them. I coached a man called Chris last year, 45, former rugby player. He came to me 8 weeks into a low-carb cut, frustrated because he looked the same but smaller. When I looked at his training logs, his squat had dropped by 30 pounds. His bench was down. His volume had quietly collapsed. And he wasn't losing fat. He was losing the thing that makes you look good when the fat comes off. I'd rather see a client's scale move a little slower and have them keep performance high, because that's what actually changes how you look with your shirt off. But training performance is only half the story, because the next reason carbs are so effective has nothing to do with the gym and everything to do with that Tuesday night at 9 p.m. But first, if you don't know what your numbers should look like, calories, protein, how long should this realistically take? I built a free calculator that does that for you in 60 seconds. Links in the description. And no, fat loss doesn't fail in the gym. It doesn't fail during meal prep. It fails on a random Tuesday evening when you're knackered. The kids are finally asleep, and all you want is something that doesn't come out of a Tupperware. That moment repeated dozens of times across a diet is where the whole thing either lives or dies. And this is where cutting carbs creates a problem most men don't see coming. It's not a willpower problem. It's a can you really live like that problem. Carbs aren't cheap foods. When was the last time you heard someone on a low carb diet sneak in a potato? Thought so. Yet the fitness industry sells restriction as commitment. I think restriction is a countdown timer to your next binge. Fat loss is a byproduct of what you can keep doing, not 8 weeks of banning carbs. Now, are carbs always the best move? No. There's one situation where pulling them back makes a lot of sense, and it's one most of you deal with regularly. Travel, work trips, holidays, any situation where you lose control over what's in the plate in front of you. When you're sitting in the airport lounge or eating at a hotel buffet, you can't weigh your rice. You can't measure your portions. The carb-heavy options in place tend to be the worst. Pastries, bread baskets, sugary snacks pretending to be energy bars. So in that context, temporarily shifting to low carb is a practical move. Default to protein and vegetables first. Let carbs show up when you actually care about the meal, like a proper dinner, a good restaurant, not the random handful of crisps at the minibar. But the key word is temporarily. It's a mode you switch into when your routine disappears, not a lifestyle. When you're back home, back to training properly, carbs come back to the centerpiece of the plate because that's where they earn their keep. Right, so how does this actually look day to day? It's simpler than you expect. Calories and protein get set first. Then give fats a floor, not a spotlight, and push everything else into carbs. That's it. And when life gets messy, you've got chaos mode. More protein, more veg, fewer starches until you're back to normal. 2 modes with the same principle. That's it. No cycling, no timing window down to the minute, and no forbidden food lists. A structure that keeps your training fueled and your diet livable, which, as we've covered, are the only 2 things that actually matter. So why are carbs unreasonably effective for fat loss? Because they solve the 2 main problems that actually wreck most diets. They let you train hard enough to keep the muscle that makes you look lean, and the deficit bearable enough so you don't fall apart by week 6. Every man I've coached who stays lean year round has worked this out. Not that carbs are magic, but the restriction has a shelf life, and the diet that wins is the one you're doing when every other approach has been binned. So now you'll be eating carbs, I hope. You'll likely want to know this next part, which makes sure hunger isn't the reason you quit your plan. I cover that in this video. I'll see you there.